Hello everyone! Welcome to today's Hobby Happy Hour with me, Louisa, and with the wonderful Matthias in the studio.
I'm far away.
Matt is quite far away. For those of you who didn't watch yesterday's bingo, you will have noticed that everything looks a little bit different. We moved. Our studio got moved from one building to the other into a completely different room. So if you notice some changes, if you notice the lighting is maybe not 100% perfect yet, if you notice the sound might be a little bit off, we are essentially working it out right now. We are setting it all up kind of as we go. Yeah, there's some just moving parts. So if it feels a bit like, oh, there's maybe something like not quite perfect yet. Yeah, that's because we literally moved last week. Huge shout out to Jaya, who organized the whole thing, who literally carried all the heavy stuff, like did all the heavy lifting on this. So yeah, credit where credit is due, and huge props to Jaya for arranging everything. She will be here next week for our big end of May live shopping, so you can also then in the chat maybe let her know in person that you are yeah, you appreciate her hard work as much as we do. Amber's asking, so are you no longer in the basement, Louisa? We are in a different basement.
We had a different basement.
We moved from one basement to another, so we're still in a basement actually, but just a different one. A slightly smaller one, slightly more like intimate one, if you want to call it that. Yeah, like I said, it's all a work in progress. Over the next few weeks and months, we're going to definitely build some, build ourselves a cool new studio and make it all super functional and super cozy. So thank you so much for joining us, everyone. Welcome. If you're completely new, if you've never joined a live shopping before, I'll give you a brief intro. Basically, what live shopping is, it's an hour a day or 2.5 hours or 5 hours. See, now Matt accidentally stumbled over a light because it's much closer to him than it normally is. It's a period of time of varying length of me talking to you about a selection of beautiful yarns and other products. And we do offer an exclusive live shopping discount on those items. So today we've actually got, I believe it is 17 items in the selection for you. So loads of yarns and a few other goodies. And on those you will receive a discount of 40%. So 40% discount that applies on the base price of the item. So if there is normally a bulk discount applied to the item, in this case it is not. In this case a 40% discount will be applied regardless of the amount of items you purchase. The discount is only valid on our selection, and it is only valid 24 hours, so until tomorrow at the time that this stream started. So until tomorrow 5 p.m. CET, Central European time. Oh, we're in Central European summertime, but either way, now 24 hours from now is how long the discount is available. If you are joining us from an EU country that uses the euro, so any euro countries on our website, you will have noticed that we've gone through some changes on the website. We have changed the setup of our store and the back end of our store, in fact. The code HAPPY40 is still valid for you as well. So I've set it up so that you get the same discount as everyone else is getting. You just can't shop directly from the landing page that we've set up. So what you can do is just still get the landing page, which will be valid, which will be the US page essentially. And then you can just select whichever items you like there, and then just open a separate tab with your domain for the Hobby website. Select the items you want and still apply HAPPY40. It should still apply at checkout. So that's the little info on that. If you're from a European country that does not use the euro and has already migrated stores, so that's mostly if you're Norwegian, then sadly we currently can't offer the discount. We're working on it. It is in the works that we'll be able to set it up for everyone. It's just the way the cookie crumbles at the moment. We can kind of only do what we already have the permission and ability to do. And so yeah, we're still kind of working it out. That's, I think, this. Oh, someone's asking if they're joining us live because they don't see any other people joining. Sorry, Matt, could you scroll up on the chat for like a little bit? Donna, if you are hearing this right now, you are on the correct stream. This is the current live stream. I am reading your comment as you are typing it almost. So just FYI for you. So those of you who've joined before will also know about our landing page, which we've built. For those of you who are new, you can type our discount code HAPPY40 into the chat and it'll give you a link sent to your inbox, which will take you straight to that aforementioned landing page. HAPPY40 is also the discount you want to apply at checkout. So when you place your order, you just apply the code HAPPY40, just happy because you are happy, and 40 because you're getting 40% off the items. That's pretty much all you need to know. So type HAPPY40 in the chat for a link to our landing page. Type HAPPY40 at checkout for 40% off. The code is valid 24 hours. It cannot be combined with any other discounts, including bulk discounts. So those are disabled for our selection, or the coupon code will override it for those of you on a different store. And that's pretty much it. I would say, oh no, we have 4 giveaways throughout the show. The very first one, the winner has actually already been picked or drawn. And that was from everyone who clicked going on our Facebook event. If you want to click going on the next one, you can type next one or big one in the chat. You'll get a link to next week's event and then you can click going there for a chance to win. We will have 2 random giveaways from the chat and 1 person will be picked from everyone who is giving a like to this video. So make sure to do that for a chance to win. That's, I think, all the admin, and with that, I'm going to get started and tell you a little bit about the selection that we have for you. And the first kind of bunch of items we have selected, or yarns we have selected, actually all go together like birds of a feather. Someone just pointed out that I have a halo, and I noticed this as well when I sat down. I'm sitting today, which is also different, but it's just because of the distance from the camera, and I'm quite awkwardly tall, so either I would have to stand very far back or I'm sitting. So we're trying sitting. If it doesn't work, I'm gonna step back. We'll see. But yeah, that's why I have a little halo. The first group of products I've selected for you today are, like I said, a little family, a little, you know, what are friends if not very tight family? And so this is basically the the culmination of that, because what we have for you today is our Friends ribbon, as well as our Friends ribbon print and our Friends ribbon gold. So the entire palette of Friends ribbon yarns is represented today in our live shopping. These are part of our Friends collection. So if you've already shopped within our Friends collection before, you will know. Our Friends collection is made so that all the different types of yarns, all the different types of materials, the color number always remains the same. So color 1 will be a blinding white on every single one of them. Color 83 is going to be a very nice blue on every single one of them because they are made to go together. Of course, bear in mind that different materials take dye differently, and they are still different yarns produced in different factories. So there will be slight variations in the color depending on the batch, depending on the base material. However, they are kind of made to be an easy one-stop solution if you want to match colors across many different projects, across many different yarns, etc. And so Friends ribbon is part of that, and so are Friends ribbon print and Friends ribbon gold. Friends ribbon is made from 100% cotton, and it is a tube yarn. It is essentially a little knitted tube that was then flattened, squished, run over by a bus, and turned into this ribbon yarn. Friends ribbon print is the same formula, except as you can see here, you get little bursts of color because you get a print yarn. And Friends ribbon gold is once again the same base formula, except here you have metallic fibers knitted, or yeah, I think it's knitted, it's not woven, into the tube as well. So you get a beautiful, I was going to say silver, and then I realized it is called Friends ribbon gold for a reason. It is obviously a gold shine that you get. The base colors remain the same. So the color, like this is 43, this lovely dark red. color 43 of the regular Friends ribbon is going to be just that red minus the gold. So you can perfectly mix and match them as well for a nice effect. And within the Friends ribbon print, the individual colors are once again made to match our other Friends colors. So you can actually find a list in the product description for each of the yarns that tells you which of the prints to match with which of the solids and how they look best together. Well, I mean, best is very much in the eye of the beholder here, but Matt is just showing you where you can find that little list. The Friends ribbon gives you a 136 yards of material. So 136 yards on one of these. They're 200 grams each, or 8.8 ounces. The Friends ribbon print is slightly different. It gives you 109 yards on 200 grams. So it is slightly skinnier. It's a slightly smaller amount of yarn that you get on one of them. That's just good for you to know. All the yarns are the same in terms of width, or again, there may be slight variations in thickness. That's just, again, due to production. Sometimes it gets squished a little bit harder and gets a little bit wider, etc. But they are kind of made to be the same basic concept, the same basic yarn. We do recommend using anywhere between and this is a very, very wide margin I'm now giving you, anywhere between a 7mm hook or needle to a 12mm hook or needle. And the best needle size for your project depends very much on what you are making. So this yarn is, of course, a super durable yarn. It's nice and bulky, nice and chunky. And so it is a great yarn to use for things like mats, rugs. You can use it to make things like pot holders. You can make it to use things like trivets. You can use it to make any kind of decorations for your home. You can make baskets out of it. You can make bags out of it. Depending on what you're making, you are going to, of course, want a much tighter structure to your stitches or a much looser structure and flowier structure. And that is where the very, very, very wide range of hook or needle size come in. So I've made some covers for a laptop, like a laptop sleeve and a tablet sleeve, and I actually used an 8mm hook. And I tend to crochet quite tightly. So I think the pattern actually called for a 7mm, and then I sized up because I know that I crochet so tightly that an 8 is perfectly fine. However, you will also find patterns that go as low as a 5 or as high as a 12. So just keep that in mind when you're looking at the recommendation. Always kind of go with your gut, because a lot of times if you've crocheted or knitted before, you will know what your personal style is, if you're more of a tight person or more of a loosey-goosey. So depending on that, and also the pattern will tell you. So the pattern will tell you, hey, use a smaller hook or a bigger hook. And of course, that again depends on the designer's preferences, but you get the gist. Don't be confused when you notice that there is a really big array of recommended sizes. Just, yeah. Julia is asking, is there a good way to weave in or fasten ribbon yarn? I'm nervous it will fray. So I've not had any problems with fraying on this yarn. I can understand why you'd be kind of concerned. Oops, sorry, Matt. I'd be, because of course this is the end, but it is quite tight, so you don't really have to worry about it much. And I've actually just been able to weave it in pretty, or like sew it in pretty well. I think if you are worried about it, what you can always do is just sew in, like just with a sewing needle and some thread, actually just kind of sew a little line across the end and then do the same in your project to just tighten it in extra, extra strong. So yeah, these are our Friends ribbon family. I actually do have some swatches here that I'm going to quickly show you, just to give you an idea also of what it looks like when worked up. So we've got the Friends ribbon here, and we've also got the Friends ribbon gold. And as you can see, the gold is really nice and shimmery and really nice and sparkly. And especially on the darker colors really stands out. So on the black, you can see it's very much like, pow, here's some glitter for you. And here we have another beautiful color match as well between regular Friends ribbon and Friends ribbon gold. So you can mix them, match them together for whatever your desired result is. Someone asked how it would compare to a t-shirt yarn. So Friends ribbon is less dense and more structured and more even at the same time. So this is a much more, you get a pretty even result with this. It is still going to kind of twist up and turn up and be bumpy a little bit because it is so bulky and just due to the nature of the yarn. But compared to a t-shirt yarn, you are going to get a more even structure in your work with this yarn compared to a t-shirt yarn. So this is our Friends ribbon line. So all of them, gold, print, and regular, and Matt has kindly shown you the different color palettes we have for each of them. And just to give you one idea on what you can make with this, like I said, I had made a laptop sleeve, so Matt already showed this earlier, but this is a pattern that we have on the website. It's a free pattern for an iPad sleeve that you can crochet, and I made this to great success, I would say, as a present for my dad, and it was well received. I did not do the leather strap. Instead, what I did is I made it slightly wider than the tablet actually is, and then on the last row I just left a little kind of eyelet in the middle, and then I just put some ribbon through that and tied it up. So I made kind of a more basic fastening there, but it worked out great. So those are the first yarns I have for you today. They are all 40% off if you use our code HAPPY40. So that's the Friends ribbon print, and Friends ribbon gold. All of them 40% off with our code HAPPY40. And then I can see a lot of people saying like, oh, the glitter is super nice. The glitter is super cute. And we originally, when we launched the Friends ribbon gold, we only had it in black, beige and white, I believe, so around Christmas time, and then they started adding colors, and my personal favorites is actually the dark purple here, which is color 71, and then we also have a dark blue, and I think both of those look so just chic. Like they just look very nice and very kind of classy. So personal favorites of those yarns.
And now we're getting to a yarn that has gotten a little bit of a makeover.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we're staying with the cotton. So this is more for those of you who are cotton fans. So this is for those of you who are looking for something cottony, like for instance for pot holders, or something kind of a bit more durable and sturdy and robust. And now we're moving from that straight into something more flowy and loose, and something more for more detailed work. So the next yarn I actually have for you today is our Sultan. We have Sultan in the selection, and we also have Sultan Solid. So Sultan and Sultan Solid are fingering or sock weight yarns. They are 4-ply little cakes. Sultan has a gradient, and Sultan Solid is, as the name might suggest, a solid colored version of the same yarn that is made to match the individual colors. Not every single Sultan color has a match in Sultan Solid, but some of them do, a lot of them do, and we do, again, in the product description, have a list that shows you which colors match up. So if you're, for instance, making a beautiful shawl with this yarn, and you want it just to be a little bit bigger, you now have the option of finding a solid color that matches to just attach and keep going. Or if you are making a blouse with this and you want your sleeves to be solid colored, you can then now use the smaller Sultan Solids to perfectly match your main color here. The Sultan, which is what I'm holding here, has 875 yards of beautiful, beautiful yarn. So enough to make a shawl, a smallish shawl, but if you want to go for something bigger, Sultan Solid is a great option to then build onto your project. I'm going to show you up close. So Sultan, as I said, is 4 plies, and as you can see here, they are not spun together, and it is the same for the Sultan Solid. So I'm going to show you the solid one here. Again, you have 4 plies that are just loose next to each other. On one hand, that does make it a little bit trickier to work with this yarn. On the other hand, it does make it a lot more lightweight and fluffy and airy than a spun cotton yarn of the same weight would be. So if you compare it to our Friends cotton, for instance, still be a lot more sort of a structured and tighter look and feel to your projects, whereas this one will remain a lot more airy and loose. Like I said, we've got Sultan Solid, and then Matt already teased it. our Sultan has gotten a little bit of a facelift, and we've just now, I think, recently started selling these. So if you've ordered Sultan from us before, you will remember that the label and the cakes looked a little bit like this. So this is the old label. And then if you're ordering now, you may receive one that looks like this. So don't be alarmed. We haven't changed too much about the yarn. We have reworked some aspects of it. So between the batches, there might be small color differences. So if you are hoping to reorder a yarn that you've previously purchased, in general, we can't guarantee that you'll get the same batch number anyway, but between the batches now, there might be a slightly bigger difference. So just be aware of that. I suppose it'll take a few months for that to be kind of evened out until we've sold out all of the old stock, and then we only have the new stock anyway. But yeah, so just don't be alarmed if it looks like this. This is once again the work of our amazing design team. So again, shout out to Eileen and Daniel for always doing stellar work and making our yarns look pretty. And just be aware that there is now this change. So you get 875 yards of loose and flowy cotton yarn, perfect for shawls, perfect now that summer is approaching for light t-shirt, light summer wear. The recommended hook or needle size is a 3mm to 4mm, and like I said, you are gonna get these 4 plies that are just loose next to each other, which means that as you work it up, it is a little bit tougher to, or like not tougher, but it is a bit of a trick or a technique needed to make sure that you always have all 4 plies while you're working, so you don't drop one, because then of course you're gonna just have a random thread hanging out of your project and you don't want that. I know that for a lot of people what helps is having something here, so just threading this through a little bead, for instance, so that you have a counterweight that essentially puts a little bit of weight on it on the way between the cake and your needle or hook. So that's just a little tip for you to know how to work with this if you've never worked with this type of yarn before. Matt is showing you the Sultan color palette here, and like I said, we have matching solids for some of these colors. Sometimes it's not the one end or the other end, sometimes it's the middle color or randomly. Kelly is saying, oh my god, what color is this? So the purple I'm currently holding is color 6. The bright one I was holding before is color 43. And the blue one I was holding is color 40. So those are the ones I've shown you today. And you can find them all on the Sultan product page.
Louisa, I gotta say, you are more on beat today than Lars Ulrich.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I try.
Because people, of course, are saying that
Metallica. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I got it.
Yeah, and they love your shirt. Okay. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
And here's there's also some solid, by the way, also the color palette.
Wonderful. Here. So Matt is showing you that, and Whitney is saying, I think it is pretty easy to work with once you get used to it. I do think that, I didn't want to discourage anyone from working with it. It was more, I think, just to share the tip. And of course, if you're a total beginner and you're already very stressed about trying a new craft, maybe start with a twisted thread first. Get into the basics and then start with the Sultans. They are so pretty. Quickly, like I said, Sultan has 875 yards. Sultan Solid has half that, so 437 yards. Everything else is the same. Recommended hook or needle size 3 to 4mm. It's a fingering sock weight, so it's all the same. It's just smaller, and it is made to be a companion. Or of course, you can use all of your favorite colors from the Sultan Solid line and just make your own gradient with it. That, of course, is also possible. Both Sultan and Sultan Solid are 40% off with the code HAPPY40 and will be for the next 24 hours. So you can grab yourself as many of them as you want at a nice little discount. What was I going to say? These are kind of very summery yarns. So this is very much like a summer yarn that you can use right now, honestly, for some brilliant projects. So Sultan and Sultan Solid were yarns number 4 and 5 of today's selection. I'm trying to do maths here. It's hard. Matt is showing you here the whole landing page that we've set up for today. So like I said, all of the yarns that I'm talking about will be linked there, as well as some patterns to go with them. So you can check out a lot of different patterns. I've linked some ideas for cute summer skirts and summer tops. We won't have time to go over them today, but they are linked there for you to check out if you would like. When you're working with a yarn like Sultan or Sultan Solid, or in general with any yarn, but especially for things like shawls, and especially if you do something that has these kind of like larger post stitches. So if you have a lot of, like a virus shawl that has a lot of little, yeah, more intricate details, what you do want to do with your projects, just to ensure that they are even, to ensure that they drape nicely, is you do want to block them. And I don't know how some of you might remember, a few weeks ago, Jaya actually had some unreleased products that she shared with you during our live shopping. And I'm here to tell you today that they have now been released, and we actually have them in the selection. So Matt, if you could pull them up on the website, because we actually sadly don't have them in the studio for you, because we just moved the studio and a lot of our stock that we would normally be able to show you is still in boxes, and we couldn't find them quickly enough. But if you remember, we showed you these blocking mats, these purple blocking mats. There's a set of 9 of them. And they go together. They have a grid pattern on them that aligns perfectly, so you can literally have a 3x3 grid, and then they also have a circular grid in the center that also aligns. So if you just need to block something circular, if you want to, or semicircle, if you're making I know a lot of, currently it's really popular, a lot of shawls in like a semicircle shape. We now have those mats. So we have the set of 9, which is the purple ones. And if you're making a smaller project and don't need 1 that big of a circle or 2 that many mats, we now also have a set of 4, which is the green blocking mats that you see here. So both of those sets, the green one is 4 mats, and the purple one is 9. Both of them have an aligning grid across all of them, as well as the circular grid to help you to guide you as you shape your project when blocking it. Both of those are part of today's selection. Both of those are 40% off with our code HAPPY40. Carrie is saying, I'm generally very anti-blocking, but I have to agree with you on this one. She made the Genmaita shawl, and it definitely needed blocking. I know, and especially like for me, it is because I could take quite a lot of time on a lot of my projects. One thing that blocking really has helped me with is if I have uneven stitch tension because I worked on something for a few days when I was really having a great day and I was really fast and I somehow got the tension perfect, and then the next time I was working and I was sort of in a rush because I was on the train, and then the tension got a bit tighter because I was working super quickly. It's really nice to be able to sort of even it out a little bit after you've worked it up. Matt is showing you here, there are some demonstrative pictures to show you how to use it. I've also included the blocking combs in the selection, so if you don't already have tea needles or blocking combs, you can also get those at 40% off today. So that's that. Someone is asking what a t-shirt yarn is. So we don't have a t-shirt yarn in the selection today, but I can quickly answer that question anyway. A t-shirt yarn is, for the most part, actually just made out of old t-shirts. So that's kind of where the original concept of it comes from. We do have a t-shirt yarn that we sell, which is called tessuto, that is made from recycled post-consumer material. So it is made from recycled t-shirts. Most of the time, the yarn is made from jersey, from like a classic t-shirt material. So it's quite often a cotton blend with some polyamide or polyester in it, or elastan. So that is kind of what t-shirt yarn is. And t-shirt yarn is something you can make yourself at home just by recycling your own old garments if you want. Of course, because of the nature of it, because it is made from different base materials, and I mean one t-shirt can only give you so much yarn, that means that it quite often has some variation to it in terms of the exact weight of each skein, of the exact thickness of the thread as you created. But it is a really cool material to work with, and a really, again, kind of also a cool way to recycle textiles. So that is what t-shirt yarn is. And yeah, we don't have any of it today, but I think if you're kind of looking for something that is close to that but a lot more even, then I think the ribbon selection is what you might want to check out for it. And Teddy's saying I already have about 25 blocking mats. I own 18. I own 2 sets of 9 because I got them, and then I around Christmas time started making a lot of projects, and I needed to block them all very quickly, and luckily found some more at the office that were on the graveyard. I actually have some of the purple ones, but I can't make a full circle because I think I only took like 3 of them home. So. And not ones that make a semicircle either. I think I just have some broken parts of the circle. But for those of you who don't yet have a full set, the purple ones, the 9, gives you a really nice sort of big surface to work with. And the green ones is perfect for if you tend to work smaller projects, or you can also like kind of, I guess, block bit by bit. If you work a lot with granny squares, for instance, and want to block them before you actually sew them together, for example, the green ones would be perfectly serviceable there. It's a smaller set, takes up less space. So yeah, we have something for everyone.
Louisa, new studio,
yes.
But I think we should keep some of our old traditions.
Yes.
So we're going to be playing a little song here.
Yes.
It's a giveaway. It's a giveaway. It's a giveaway time. It's a giveaway time. It's a giveaway.
Thank you very much. That was the giveaway song. And that means it is time for our first giveaway of the night. Congrats to our first winner, Kerstin Netavik. Or if you are Swedish, Kerstin Netavik. I'm not sure, but I think Netavik might be a Swedish last name. Not sure, but Kerstin or Kerstin, either way, congratulations. You are the first winner of the night. Matt drew you from everyone who signed up for our Facebook event. So thank you so much for signing up. And you will receive a gift card worth $25 or equivalent in your currency. And you can get your gift card by emailing us at live@hubi.com. Live@hubi.com. Kerstin Netavik or Kerstin Netavik, please email us at live@hubi.com to get your prize. So, with that, do remember we have 3 more giveaways coming up. We'll twice ask you to type a secret catchphrase in the chat. We'll tell you when it's time to do that. And we will pick 1 random winner from everyone who gives this video a like. So be sure to like. I was going to say like and subscribe as if like I'm a YouTuber, which some of us are, some of us aren't. So we've got some more giveaways coming up in just a few seconds. For now, I'm going to talk to you more about our next yarn, and this next yarn is another one that you can use to make really nice shawls. So it is another one that goes well with the blocking mats if you don't already have them. Although I would actually qualify and say probably not so much, because this is now an acrylic yarn. So one thing that's good to know about blocking, especially wet blocking, is that it works best on natural materials, wool, cotton, more so than on acrylics, and that's just because acrylics don't take up as much of the liquid, so they don't really soak through. So wet blocking is going to be a bit harder. What you want to do with acrylic materials in order to block them is actually use heat. So you could steam them. That's actually a really good way to go. You can do the same for wool and cotton as well. So it's just like kind of a matter of preference. Although again, some stuff works better when wet, some stuff works better with heat. And it kind of depends on the fiber content of your yarn. But anyway, if you're looking for an acrylic yarn, if you are in the market for some nice shawls, for some nice shirts, and if you're in the market for some sparkles, then this next yarn is for you. So this is our Universe, and I'm going to show you a little close-up of it. Universe is made from 100% acrylic. As you can see here, it is a single ply yarn. And then it has the polyester glitter thread wrapped around it. The idea is that the material, because it is spun very loosely, the single ply, as you can see here, it's a little bit wider and a little bit looser in some places and a little bit tighter in others. And what that does is as you work it up, the glitter thread pretty much just sinks into the material because there is a bit of squish to it, which means that when you then have the surface of it, it kind of is less likely to irritate your skin because it's not sticking out so much. Universe has these really lovely color changes where the colors just kind of magically bleed into each other. and does have kind of a stripy repeat pattern to it. The glitter strand changes color depending on the base colors of the yarn. So for some of the more colorful ones like here, you will just get a gold or silver thread. And then for some of them like this one, you will see that the glitter actually matches with the kind of rusty orange tones here. Got another one here where again, you kind of have almost rose gold glitter on this yarn. So it's different for each color. What colorway is the blue one? Someone asked. So this is color 27 that I was always holding here. This is color 27 of Universe. Beautiful, beautiful Universe. Matt is actually going to pull up the entire color palette for you right now. So there you can see. Someone is saying that the lighting kind of looks like I'm next to the window. We had to adjust the ring light because it was very much reflecting on my glasses. I think it still does. Again, we're still in the process of working out the perfect setup for this studio. But in the beginning, it was very much like reflecting straight up off my glasses. So I just had big green circles on my eyes basically the whole time. Yeah. So the orange and blue one is fantastic. It is. This is color 29. This is color 29. And then the other two I showed you are 42, answer to everything in the life and the universe and etc. etc. And this one is color 14. So those were the colors that I showed you. And they are very nice. Oh, color 42 is called Hemisphere.
Not the answer apparently, but yeah.
No? I mean, we don't know the question, so you know.
True.
So 42 could literally mean anything. What is the what is the answer to the question of the meaning of life? It is universe, color 42.
Hemisphere.
Hemisphere. I do think it is kind of a wasted opportunity that on a yarn that's already called Universe,
Yeah.
they didn't make it like Fort Prefect or something. Like they didn't make it a bit more specific.
Yeah.
I guess we are nerdier than our product department.
Apparently, man. Apparently. We should be in there. Naming
we should
universe.
be in there naming yarns, yeah. On a Universe, you get 505 yards of yarn, and the recommended hook or needle size is a 3 to 4, so it is a fingering and sock weight similar to Sultan. It is a bit more dense because you only have the one ply, and while it is kind of loosely spun, it is still one strand, whereas Sultan gives you 4 light ones. Yeah, so this is 505 yards of yarn. And it is perfect for anything from shawls to tops to accessories, and a great yarn for all of you who love a bit of color and a bit of sparkle. And this next pattern is one that I really, really, really love. This is a free crochet pattern for a dragon scale shawl, and I just think it looks so cool. It has the, dragon scale look. I just think it looks dope. I could imagine this in almost every single Universe color with the glitter of it. I think it is super lovely. It is an experience level pattern, and you're going to need 3 cakes of Universe to make this dragon scale shawl. And it is linked on our landing page as well as, of course, on the product page for our Universe. So that was the dragon scale shawl, which you can make in our beautiful Universe, which is 40% off today with our code HAPPY40. We should make it one day. We should do like, if we ever have a live shopping on Towel Day, we should make the code 42% and have it happy 42.
Towel Day?
Towel Day. I forgot when it is. It's like end of April or May. It might be soon. Check when Towel Day is. And for those of you who don't know, if you are a hitchhiker, an intergalactic hitchhiker, it's the 25th. So it's at the end of this week, so we missed our chance, Matt. We could have had Happy 42. It would have been so funny.
That would have been great.
So for those of you who do not know, for an intergalactic hitchhiker, the single most important item they should always have on them and need is a towel. And so to celebrate Douglas Adams and the works and Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, there is Towel Day, which is the 25th of May, which is to celebrate that you should always have a towel on you.
You know what? I like it.
I love that you didn't know this.
No, I did
and I
not.
love that I used to be much cooler than I am now. I used to post on Facebook every year for Towel Day. I would always take a picture of me somewhere with a towel and like post about it.
But did you explain it or just let people
No,
know?
I just full on
Yeah.
went. I just full on went like, "Happy Towel Day, everyone! Make sure you have one with you." And then I would probably usually include some quote from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Okay. The next yarn we don't really have here.
Yes,
Yeah.
but we do have a cool pattern to share for it. So the next
Sure.
yarn is actually a brand new yarn, and because it is a brand new yarn, we didn't have it yet.
Yeah.
And then we moved the studio, and we couldn't find it because all the stashes got mixed up anyway. But the reason I included it is actually because I thought that it would look super cool with the universe that I just showed you. So remember that dragon scale shawl? We have a new yarn called Soft Lash, and this is what it looks like. It is super fuzzy. It's made from 100% polyamide, and it is also a fingering and sock weight, so it kind of adds on perfectly. It is this super fuzzy yarn. The green looks almost like the Grinch. Like you turned the Grinch into a yarn. It's 229 yards on one little skein, and it is this super fuzzy yarn. You can, of course, use it on its own to make super cool, fuzzy projects. But you can also use it as a way to add a little bit of sort of interest onto your project. So imagine this, but for the cuff of a cardigan, or for like ribbing along the side, or like just a little bit of kind of not quite fur, but kind of, but more funky and fun. We do actually have some pictures in the user gallery where someone has actually already made 2 super cool hats using this yarn. And we do also have a plus pattern available that uses this yarn, which is named after one of our colleagues. So we'll show you both of those as well. I'm a bit sad that I can't show you in person because it does kind of just look kind of cool. And I think Soft Lash is also a really fun name for it. When they first pitched it to us and they said, yeah, we have this new yarn called Soft Lash, my first reaction was like, oh, that doesn't sound appealing. And then the more I thought about it, the more I was like, no, it does sound appealing. It actually sounds great. So Angela has made these super cool hats and then used Soft Lash to add a really cool border. And I just think it looks so fun. It's just a cool way to spice up your projects. So Angela, shout out to you if you're watching. Those hats look dope. And if you want some more ideas on how it could look, we also have one pattern, which is the Jackie shawl, named for our lovely colleague Jackie, who was very much the recipient. And apparently Maria, our colleague who designed this, named it after her because she essentially made it and just thought, this is for Jackie. This is her vibe. This is her style. And it absolutely is. She has an amazing, very, 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 very cool, very chic and very eclectic style. And so this is the Jackie shawl, which is made using our friend's Kit Silk as the main part and then Soft Lash for the edge. So if you're looking for something to kind of spice up your projects and you're a fan of these kind of really also funky colors, because Soft Lash comes in all these really funky colors, if you kind of want to turn yourself into a Muppet, or just have a little bit more of that in your life, then Soft Lash is the one for you. Ashley is saying, wait, you could make the wizard owl so fluffy. You could, or you could give him a fur coat. Wizard owl, but with a fur coat. Hear me out. Wizard owl, fur coat, and a really cool hat.
That sounds more like a fashion week owl.
Yes.
Yeah.
A fashion magician.
Is it washable?
Is it washable? That is a good question. We do recommend that you hand wash it. So just also to keep it nice and fluffy. And similar to a lot of our other fluffy yarns, if over time, you know, you sit on it or you lean against it and it kind of felts up a little bit, use a kind of mohair brush to kind of brush it out a little bit to revive the fluff. So that is Soft Lash, and I will promise we'll have it on the show again in a few weeks. I will make sure of it, and then I will make sure to show it to you in person. For now, sadly, I don't have it here, but I wanted to have it on the show today regardless because I just think it's really cool. And I kind of had forgotten about the whole moving the studio thing when I started doing it. Amanda saying there's a poncho from Charm that would look so great in this. And Brandy is saying, with the code I won last week, I bought myself a color pack. Brandy, I'm so glad that you found something nice and treated yourself to something cool. And speaking of, we actually are going to have another giveaway. Make sure that you are joining us live right now, and you can participate on both YouTube and Facebook. Sadly for you on Instagram, we cannot read the chat there, so it is not possible to participate on this particular giveaway. But for all of you on Facebook and YouTube, it's go time, because Matt is going to display a secret passphrase, which we want you to type in the chat. And who would have guessed it? It's Happy 40. All you gotta do, just type Happy 40 in the chat one more time. You will get a message with our offers, and everyone who does so in the next minute and a half is gonna hop in and be eligible for a gift card worth $25 or equivalent in your currency. Someone is asking, some people are very entertained by the fact that I am truly obsessed with the wizard owl. But look at him.
Look at him.
Honestly.
Hold up.
For those of you who don't know, it is completely, like, not relevant to today's live shopping, but the wizard owl is a free knit pattern that we have for this little owl who is a wizard. And he's modular, so you make an owl and then you make him a little cape and a little hat. And so you can make the wizard owl whatever you want it to be. You can make the wizard owl anything you would like to be, and Matt is now turning me into the wizard owl. So I am now speaking as Louisa the wizard owl when I say that this is probably my all-time favorite pattern on the Hobbii website. Have I made it? No. Am I obsessed with it? Yes. And now imagine the wizard owl with a fur coat. Or like a fur-edged coat, like a red coat with then white like edging, like a royal coat, and then make him a crown.
Wow.
And then he is no longer the wizard owl; he is the emperor wizard owl.
You know what? I mean, wizards, they are magical, so they would probably be able to take that spot.
Magical.
Oh, we're picking a winner.
And we are now finding a winner for a gift card worth a $25 or equivalent in your currency. So let's see who our lucky winner is. It is Claire Given. Claire, it is a given that you are our next winner. That was the lamest joke I have ever made on this show. Claire, congratulations. In order to redeem your prize, please email us at live@hobbii.com. That is Claire Given. I hope I am forgiven for my terrible pun skills. Claire, please email us at live@hobbii.com, and congrats on winning this little giveaway.
Steven, is that you?
Is Steven there? What?
I think you turned it into Steven for a second there.
How so? Because I said congrats?
No, the puns.
Oh.
Yeah.
I was like, I miss Steven. In case you're watching, Steven, nothing but love, and we miss you a lot. Sarah is saying, you did just learn how to knit, Louisa. I did. I am actually almost finished with the Suki slipover. We kind of realized that because of studio moving and then quiz time, etc., it's going to be a while until we get to film the grand finale. Jay and I are kind of hard at work figuring out the best timing for it. But there will be a conclusion to the epic saga. And yeah, I am almost done. And I will let you know once it's done, and I'll reveal my final product. And you are right, I should just do the wizard owl next. I'm actually I need to get back on crocheting because I have a lot of people I'm making scarves for again. I am a one-trick pony at the end of the day. All right, so with that, we have the next few yarns coming up, and we're staying kind of magical because we were just talking about the wizard owl, we were just talking about magic and fun and fabulous, and we're now moving on to another magical favorite yarn of mine. The next yarn I've got for you in the selection is Unicorn and Unicorn Solid. And with Unicorn, I actually have to check because these are all old unicorns, but I think we have new unicorns here. 1 second. Bear with me.
Yeah, I forgot we had the unicorn built behind us as well. We have so much unicorn actually in our studio.
Oh, do you think anyone would notice if some of it went missing? You did not hear me say that.
This is a secret.
This is a secret that I just shared in front of a few hundred people. So
they wouldn't snitch.
None of you would.
No.
That's that would be the ultimate like revealing something top secret here, and then realizing that we are such a tight knit bunch that it just does not get out. I will one day announce something. I don't know when there's something cool to announce. Which I mean there is 40% off of Unicorn.
And that's a rarity, right?
Unicorn Solid. And that is a really good deal on both of those yarns. Unicorn and Unicorn Solid are again, fingering sock weight yarns. We have a lot of those today. So I think with summer coming up, I kind of naturally gravitated towards a lot of the finer yarn weights, just because, of course, I assume that a lot of you are kind of more likely to be making some thinner, finer works right now instead of uber chunky. Maybe that's just me projecting. Both of these are a kind of classic sock weight blend. Yes, Matt?
You know how I know summer is coming up? Because there's flies in this room.
There was
and
a fly
annoying as hell.
There was a fly that was here, and I was so afraid I was going to inhale it and swallow it. And then, yeah.
They're just flying all over.
Yeah. New studio, new challenges.
We are close to the kitchen.
We are close to the kitchen now. Yeah. If you ever feel like, is there a dishwasher running in the background? There might be. So Unicorn and Unicorn Solid are again sort of sister yarns. They are made to go together and work well together. Unicorn Solid is machine dyed and it is a solid colored yarn. Unicorn is hand dyed, so each single skein is unique and will have variations accordingly. Both of them are classic sock blends, so you have 75% wool, 25% polyamide, and the wool used in this is the softest and loveliest superwash merino wool. So these are merino wool blends. They are a classic sock blend. They work perfectly for socks. We actually have quite a few patterns for socks made from these yarns, but they can do so much more. These are stunningly soft. The colors are so fun and fresh. Unicorn Solid has some of these gorgeous, gorgeous dark and deep jewel tones. Has all of these really, really lovely different shades, and they are made to be going with each other. So I was holding up the yellow earlier. I'll show these three next to each other. So as you can see here in this one, which is color 102 of the Unicorn, and this is new Unicorn. You can tell it's new Unicorn because it has the new label. And the yellow in here is made to be matching as closely as possible. Again, you can see there is variation here because one of them is machine dyed and the other one is hand dyed. And then you can see that here you'll also find these berry accents. So there is a list on the product page, or I think there will be once the kind of rollover of the new Unicorn is out, showing you which ones match as close as possible, but just bear in mind that there will be a little bit variation. Which color Unicorn? So this was 102, and you can tell the difference between the old and new ones because the new ones will start with a 1, so 101, 102, and the old ones will just have 05, 06. So those are the two we still have the old ones of. And then we've also added some completely new colors that we never had before to the catalog as well. I think we'll look in the user gallery maybe to show some also kind of ideas on what the colorways look like when worked up, because they are just sort of sprinkled and fun and kind of confetti in the air and just absolutely stunning. Matt has pulled up this super cute pair of socks done by Claire. It's the Comfort Core sock set by Summer Lee Designs, which she found on Ravelry, but it gives you a good idea of what the colors look like when used up. Diane made this super, super cool shawl that uses both both Unicorn and Unicorn Solid together. Which color number is the solid yellow one? This is color 19 of the solid.
It looks like she used this one, right?
Yeah, it looks like the color that Diane used is this one right here, which is the old color 6. And so, like I said, we are currently phasing out the older colors and we're replacing them with newer ones. Again, they're not going to be a 100% match, just also due to the nature of the yarn, how it is made, but they are going to try and match as closely as possible. So if you still have some old ones lying around, best finish your project with those. And then if you want to make something new, then order just the new color. That's also why the colors are separated from each other. Someone asked if you can also crochet socks. Yes, you can. We do have a handful of patterns on the website for crocheted socks as well. I don't know if we have any made in Unicorn specifically, but pretty much any sock weight is compatible. So anything that's a 4-ply sock yarn is compatible with Unicorn. And Matt is now pulling up all the Unicorn patterns that we do have. So yeah, I know we do have a pair of socks that I think is done with magic sock wool, for instance. But yeah, there are crochet patterns for socks out there. check the moss rose ones.
Those?
Yeah.
Damn.
Nope, those are knitted.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like thinking, because I remember we had some, but I've forgotten what the name is of the pattern. It is a little bit, I think, from... I've crocheted baby socks, but those don't count because...
Flies.
The fly is right in front of my mouth and I don't want to eat it.
Or inhale it.
I just noticed that color 19 no longer exists, the one I just showed you, the yellow.
Oh.
So, sorry about that. I don't know if it's coming back, so forget I showed it to you. I swear there is a fly here. I'm not joking. Like, I'm not making this up. What was I saying? I was talking about the difference between knitted and crocheted socks. So I've only crocheted socks for babies, but one thing that I have found is that I think with knitting, you tend to get a kind of cleaner, more low profile structure. And I think with socks that is quite nice because if you're walking on them, you don't want any bumps. And I think just by nature of how you make your stitches in crochet, you're going to have them be a little bit more bumpy. So I think with that, it is, yeah, I think maybe a little bit more of a intermediate to experienced technique to be doing it in crochet versus knitting. But that's just based on my kind of, maybe also based on my crochet ability as it is right now. So just figured I'd share that. On one hank of unicorn, and unicorn solid, it's the same for both, you get 437 yards of beautiful yarn. It is a fingering or sock weight, so you do have a recommended hook or needle size of 3 to 4 millimeters. So again, that really nice kind of thin quality, very nice and even thread. And we do recommend that you use wool detergent when washing this and maximum wash it in the wool program. So just make sure that you take great care with your projects so that they last a very, very long time. And with unicorn, I would also recommend maybe giving it a little vinegar bath to set the color before you wash it for the first time, just to make sure that you don't accidentally have color bleed, because with hand-dyed yarns, that is a lot more likely to happen than with machine-dyed ones, just by nature of how they're produced. One of these is enough if you're making a pair of socks for someone with sort of normal-sized feet, so I think anything up to size 40, 41, or I think we discovered that that's an 8 to 9 women's sock size, roughly thereabouts. If you have bigger feet like me, I'm a size, I think I'm a size 10 US and a size 42 European, then you're gonna need a second hank to make it, or you can of course add on some solid to balance it out. But yeah, also it comes in a hank. Naturally you will want to unwind it either with a yarn swift or just with hands or the back of a chair, just to make it really nice and easy for you to work with. Turn it into a little cake and then work it up. Don't try to work straight from the hank, because that is a disaster waiting to happen, which I didn't know the first time I kind of tried to do it, and yeah, learned it the hard way. Yeah, Sharon is also sharing that from her experience, it is harder to get the stretch and the sizing right when you are working crochet socks versus knitted socks. So thank you for sharing that experience, because like I said, I've only done it for babies, and I mean, I did it for a newborn baby, so not a baby that was walking on those socks, for a baby that didn't really know he had feet yet. And so there, of course, it's a little bit different, because if it's a little bumpy, I mean, the baby's never going to stand on it. Also, I think it took me so long to make them. I think the baby was able to wear it once, and then they were too small. And Jackie's saying, I'm taking a class on how to hand dye yarn later this summer. That sounds super cool. I hope you have a great time. That is actually something that Jaya and I have talked about doing, maybe for a craft and chat episode at some point. We would quite like to give that a go. I think it's also just because basically we're kind of almost using it as an excuse to indulge in some crafty stuff that we've always wanted to try and don't really have the time to do. So we're like, oh, if we do it on the clock, that's the way to go. So yeah. That was unicorn, and then of course unicorn solid. Both of them super beautiful, soft yarns. Both of them just gorgeous. I actually just want to add on, I think I said that this was machine washable. I meant unicorn solid. Unicorn do not machine wash ideally because, yeah, much more likely give it a bit of a vinegar bath to set the color, and then I would say hand wash, machine wash. If you mix them, only hand wash, please. Just to correct my own, what I said earlier, because, yeah, I forgot which yarn I was talking about. Unicorn solid, machine washable, unicorn, but still use wool detergent. Put it in the wool program. You know what? I know it says it's machine washable. Don't. Just protect them. They are very, very high quality yarns. They are very, very just nice yarns that are going to be making you happy for a very long time to come. They are stunning colors, and just whatever you make in these and however much love and effort you put into this, just treat it as if it's a baby and be very careful with it. These are unicorn and unicorn solid. 40% off with our code HAPPY40 for the next 24 hours. So if you want to grab yourself some, then go for it. I highly recommend. And I have, of course, linked a lot of patterns for the yarns on our landing page as well, so you can check them out. There. Oh, someone just came in and asked, it's a fun looking yarn, what is it? So this is unicorn and this is unicorn solid. They are sister yarns. One of them is dyed in these fun, funky, bright colors, and the other is dyed in solid colors. And there is a guide on how to match them with each other, and they are super, super lovely. And that is our next yarn done. And we do have another relatively new one coming up. We've had it on the live recently because when yarns are new, I always try to put them in a few times because I know that not all of you are able to invest an hour or plus of your day every week. And so I just try to, if we have a new yarn, try to have it in a little bit more often in the beginning, just to give all of you a chance to see it. I was going to say IRL, but you're not seeing it in real life. You're still seeing it through a camera, but a bit more, you get a bit more context to it than if you just see it on the website. And this next yarn was added as part of our sort of, I think, launch of...
We need a VR live shopping experience.
Oh!
Imagine that.
Oh.
Yeah.
That would be so fun. Like
just everybody with the VR
glasses, but you know, like I would want like the crazy like 50 years, 60, 70, 80 years in the future when they've made it so that you can actually touch.
Yeah.
So you can like full on get the immersive experience of actually as if you're touching the yarn.
Yeah. How does William actually feel?
By that point, there will probably be like VR knitting where you don't knit in real life, you just knit in virtual reality.
Yeah, and then you wear it.
And then virtually. You have a digital, and you have like kind of like a skin for your avatar.
And you feel it.
Yeah, but that would be kind of sad if I'm being honest.
It would be sad.
Like I love. I mean, I am on a live stream that is very much digital and on the internet right now, but I do think I love the actual physical aspect of crafting and the fact that it is an offline hobby.
Yeah.
Is the main draw of this for me. Like if I crochet, if I get really into the zone, I'm not checking my phone. I am unavailable to the world. And so honestly, that is the magic of it. That is the magic of it. Yeah, I'm taking back the idea. I don't want virtual reality live shopping in the future. No. In fact, what I would instead want is that you can come visit us here and I can show you all these yarns in person and like touch your faces with them.
We have a live shopping in a stadium.
Cool. That would be so fun. One of these days, like maybe like, you know, there's like the big crafts fairs. Mm-hmm. I think it would be super cool if one time we would get the chance to actually do kind of a live event at one of those where people could come, like, touch our yarns, chat with us. I'll pitch it. I mean, I'll pitch it next team meeting.
Live shopping arena tour.
Back to
the
actual thing I was talking about, which is one of our newer yarns, and this one is the one that everyone pronounces incorrectly. It's called Minium. So, Mini-um. Have I typed minimum many times? Yes. Have I called it minimum many times? Yes. Do people routinely send emails asking about our new yarn Minimum? Yes. So, you know, Minium is the name of this yarn. It is a microfiber yarn. It's made from 100% acrylic. And as you can see here, so you have a really tiny fiber diameter, which gives it this super shiny surface. Again, very, very similar to mercerized cotton on the surface, but it is an acrylic yarn, so it is super lightweight. It is super bright, and the colors are really sort of shiny and really deep. So on this like beautiful coral color as well. Oh, this matches my nail polish kind of. This is a nice contrast with the nail polish, and this is a nice almost match. But yeah, so this is Minium. It is another fingering or sock weight. Recommended hook or needle size is a 3 to 4 millimeters. Although I will say that to me it looks a little bit thinner than, for instance, Universe or Sultan. So I think you could also work with a smaller hook size here if you want to have those kind of like very, very small details pop a little bit more. It is machine washable at low to medium temperature, and you get 191 yards on one of these skeins. I do have a little swatch here for you as well to check out of this beautiful light blue color. And yeah, as you can see, it has that kind of mercerized cotton sheen, and it is super, super, super soft. Would it go with Carnival? Asks Carrie Thorman. So I have a Carnival here. What a coincidence. In terms of the sheen, it actually, like, if you look at it next to each other, they're not dissimilar. You can see here that Carnival, again, is one single ply, so it has much more variation in thickness and is overall bouncier and chunkier, whereas this one is a lot more precise and a lot more even because it is a spun, like a well-twisted thread. So the answer is, yeah. I mean, again, I am a firm believer that all yarns kind of go together, but in terms of the sheen, in terms of the shininess of the yarn, yes, they are a good match. Just this is a much thinner and then more even yarn, so you are going to have a different vibe, a different type of structure to your stitches when you work with both of these yarns. But yeah, in terms of the material, it's kind of similar, except this is honestly softer. So Minium is definitely softer than Carnival. And Carnival is already a very soft yarn, but this truly feels so, so, so soft on the surface and just so, yeah, nice and even, no, what's the word I'm trying to think of? What is the surface of a mirror? Like, like that.
It's glassy.
Like a soft mirror.
I'm not following you.
Matt is looking so confused. You know, like sometimes I'm trying to like explain things and then there's just from my brain, that's just how it works.
Like a soft mirror. Yeah.
What size needle would you use with this yarn? So the recommendation is for a 3 millimeter. And I do think that that is probably, yeah, close. That's a US 2.5.
Why is the label a cherry? Or 2 cherries?
I don't know. Because cherries are cute?
They aren't called Minium in Latin or something.
I don't know, maybe they are. I didn't take Latin in school.
Yeah, same.
I wouldn't know. I took French. And cherries in French are cerises. Matt is now googling what Minium means. Red lead.
That is not a cherry. Yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't sound like it.
No.
Yeah. Well, cherries
shiny,
are cool.
Shiny, yeah, smooth. Thank you, sleek, Erica, from my brain straight to yours. You get me. Yes, I was going for smooth and sleek. That is what I wanted to use to describe the surface of this yarn. Thank you, Erica. Shout out to you, my friend. You get me. You get me so much better than Matthias.
Yeah, sad.
Minium is 40% off with our code HAPPY40 and will be for the next 24 hours. So if you want to grab it, do so now. And we do have some gorgeous examples of what it looks like used up. And in fact, Brooke has taken on the massive undertaking of making a temperature blanket with it. And this is her January progress. So it's a temperature blanket made with granny squares. Brooke, if you're watching, I hope that you're still on it since that was your January progress. Amazing idea to do a project like that. And Kathy made these super cute granny squares and turned them into a little canvas tote. So that is also a really, really nice project to make. It's apparently a red pigment, says Dagmar. Yeah, then it makes sense that there would be cherry, because cherries are also red. And here we have a cute little set of rainbow dungarees that Donna made, and they look so cute. Those colors are perfect for spring and summer, and just the perfect thing to put you in a good mood, I think. So those are just some ideas on what you can make with Minium. We currently don't have any patterns yet, although I think if you find patterns that use other kind of fingering or sock weight or thinner yarns, you could probably substitute them. Jaya is on the chat and is saying that, yes, it is about... Jaya is saying it's cherries are red and Minium is an orange-red pigment. See? Perfect. We figured it out. And yeah, so Minium is a newish addition to our catalog and a perfect yarn for all your summery springtime projects. This next yarn is another one that you can use to add fun effects to your project. So similar to the soft lash, this one is a bit more as part of the whole. So the next yarn I have for you is Candy Pop. Candy Pop, another yarn to bring some fun and color into your life. And Candy Pop is a yarn that got created sort of as a side product to our Honey Bunny candy. So Honey Bunny candy is a chenille yarn that has these little neon pops as part of it. And throughout the production process, it essentially became clear that that would actually be cool if you were able to do that with a bunch of other yarns. Couldn't you just produce the thread that gives the neon pops to the chenille yarn separately? And the answer is yes, you can. And so we actually do have these super cute 3 different colors of Candy Pop. We have one that has these pastel muted shades, we have one that has the full rainbow of color, and we have one that has neon color pops. So each of them are these little poofs of color that are then connected with this lace weight, very thin thread. And so what happens is if you're working with a color that is kind of similar to the base thread, like here, this is Pearly Haze in combination with the color pop, you can see that the thread kind of almost disappears right into the stitches and only the little pops remain. So if you work with a bigger, bouncier yarn, you're going to get just the little pops. If you work with a thinner yarn and a higher contrast, you will get this. So you can then actually get this really cool effect where the thread itself also becomes part of the color. Whatever you end up working, like however you end up using it, is of course down to your preference of would you want it to be a little bit more of pops of color, or do you want it to be a bit more sort of subtle and spotted? Either of those is possible with this yarn. You can also work with it on its own. It'll give you a very netted texture, so it is a lace weight yarn. If you're using it by itself, the recommended hook or needle size is a 2mm to 2.5mm. However, I do think this yarn truly shines when used in conjunction with other yarns. And yeah, so having the 3 colors gives you the option of essentially building your own combination if you'd rather go with something neon, if you'd rather go with something pastel, if you'd rather go with something sort of rainbow medium colors. Blaze here made this super cute little stack of loaf cats, and as you can see they have a sweet little color pop and effect on there just to give it that little bit of extra. And here Jody has designed this awesome cardigan which uses the neon one and our Daily Stitch acrylic. So Jody is in the process of testing out that pattern, but Jody already has a pattern on the website, which you can find linked right there. It is a plus pattern. Jody, if you are watching, shout out, and it's a super cool design, the Walking on Eggshells sweater, which is made using a combination of our color pop with our mega ball. So Jody, in case you're watching, super lovely design, and I can't wait to see if you are going to also publish the cardigan pattern eventually.
Wait, do we have the host Jaya Dangu from the podcast Skeet and Tell now out on all platforms?
We do indeed.
Is she in the chat? Is that
Jaya
her?
is in fact in the chat.
Oh my
God.
So
one, show her some love. Also, remember what I said about Jaya's hard work going into moving the studio. So shout out to Jaya
Shout
for
out.
all of that. But yes, we do have our lovely colleague Jaya in the chat right now, who is, of course, the host of the soon-to-be prize-winning, because I'm sure there will be some kind of prize that you can nominate her for, host of our podcast, Skeen and Tell. She is in the chat right now, so let her know. Also, if you have any, just any feedback on the podcast, anything. Jaya's here right now, following along on the journey, and Jaya is also going to join us next week for our big live shopping. So show her some love. And if you want to give Skeen and Tell a listen, if you haven't already, you can type pod1 in the chat, and it'll give you a little message that will have all the links to everywhere you can find podcasts. That is on Spotify. That is on Amazon Podcasts, that is on Apple Podcasts, and on our YouTube channel. So if you don't have access to any of the other three, it is also on our YouTube channel. It is free to listen to. Every episode deals with cool, fascinating deep dives into various yarn-related topics. The episodes are a bit varying in length, so some of them are perfect for if you just want to do a deep clean of your kitchen, and some of them are perfect for a short commute. Two of the episodes feature one of our lovely colleagues, our procurists, Kat, and all of them have little visits from Yarn Deanna Jones, who is the foreign correspondent on all things yarn archaeology. It is a fantastic project that Jaya has spent a lot of time on and a lot of effort on, and definitely do give it a listen if you haven't already. And like I said, pod1 in the chat will give you a link to our 4 places that you can watch the podcast, or well, not watch, listen to the podcast. So yeah.
Well, you then watch, like, in your imagination take flight.
Oh yes.
Yes.
Or you watch what you're doing as you're crafting.
Yeah.
That could also be the case. I can see lots of love for Jaya in the chat, so yes. Mwah.
Speaking of Jaya,
enjoy the rest of your day.
Speaking of Jaya, Louisa, we have a little segment here coming up, and we are gonna roll it.
It's a giveaway. It's a giveaway. It's a giveaway time. It's a giveaway time. It's a giveaway.
I don't really know the tempo of the song, Louisa, really. Like, it's a little hard to dance to it, you know?
Yeah.
I kind of forgot.
Also don't. And I also don't know how long it is, so is it still going?
Yeah. No,
Okay.
it's done. It's done.
Okay,
It's good.
perfect.
It's all good.
It is time for another giveaway.
Woo.
And this time, the winner has already been chosen. Well, picked, drawn. From everyone who gave this video a like, so thank you so much to all of you who did, and congratulations to our winner, Susan Bradshaw. Susan, congrats to you. You are our winner of this 3rd giveaway of the night. Please email us to live@hubi.com. That is Susan Bradshaw. Congratulations, and the gift card will be yours once Matt receives your email. And thank you so much for being here with us today. I can see a lot of people are sharing some of their favorite sort of moments from the podcast as well. It is a beautiful project, and Jaya is hard at work for the next season, so there is some more really, really cool episodes coming up. This was Candy Pop. It is 40% off if you use our code HAPPY40 for the next 24 hours, and it is a beautiful, colorful addition to our catalog, and we do have another one of those coming up. I already showed it earlier when we were comparing it to Minium, and right now it is the main star of the show. It is, of course, Carnival. Carnival is a 100% acrylic yarn. It is a light worsted, or DK, that is double knit weight, and as you can see here, you get one single ply that is twisted a little bit more, what's the word, rustically. So you will get slight variations in thickness. You will get thinner bits and thicker bits on the same skein. There is a beautiful melange of bright and stunning colors that you can, as you can see here, that change very sort of subtly from one to the other. They kind of melt into each other, much like Carnival sort of melts all the different colors and people and fun together into one big celebration. This is the same in yarn form.
Wow.
You get 262. Thanks. I try.
Very beautiful.
You get 262 yards of material on this yarn, and it is a super, super soft quality. I saw a few people earlier who were already quite excited about it coming up. It is machine washable at low to medium temperature, so easy to take care of. You have a recommended hooker needle size 4mm to 5mm, so a nice medium weight yarn. So we're getting slightly chunkier now with the yarns compared to what we've had so far. Matt is showing you the full color palette here, so you can check it out.
And we also have some swatches to show as well.
I can say Rivki is saying on the chat, I just started a sweater for myself today in Carnival. The colors are stunning and the yarn is so cushy. I'm literally working it now as I watch. Amazing, and I hope that you continue to enjoy. Matt is going to pull up some color swatches, so with this yarn we are able to already show you some swatches, because of course it can be a little bit difficult to go from skein to what you're holding. Someone is asking what the colors are that I'm holding. So this is color 17, this one is color 3, then I've also got color 18. Oh yeah, hang on, perfect. Color 3, you've got the skein, you've got the swatch. You've got the skein, you've got the swatch. And then the other one I was holding was color 8. So Matt is showing you some of the swatches here to give you an idea. So here we have color 8. And what you can see here, right, is depending on how it's wound, and each skein will be a little bit different. You might not, when you get this, and it's a little bit like this, you might not instantly think, oh yeah, those vibrant colors are there. They are there, trust me. So sometimes they're just hidden a little bit more on the inside. But this is Carnival. It is a perfect yarn for those of you who love color. It is a perfect yarn to make beautiful sweaters out of. You can make beautiful scarves, beautiful accessories. You could make gorgeous blankets out of this. Anything really where you want that melt of colors. It can also look incredible when used with a solid colored yarn for something like a mosaic or any kind of sort of gradient that is then kind of contrasted with a solid color. Here we have some beautiful examples of projects that you guys have made. Matt is pulling up the user gallery to just show you also how these yarns look. Look at that granny blanket, for instance. Like, that blanket is another beautiful example of how these color changes can be utilized in such a smart way too, because all of those squares have 3, 4 colors in them and a beautiful sort of melt of colors. And you don't have to weave in any ends. You don't have to combine any threads. You just work it as it comes and you get beautiful results. Here's another beautiful example by Sandy, which is another stunning blanket that uses the sort of different colors and color changes to just create this stunning color work is the word I was trying to think of. I'm trying to think if there's a synonym for color, which is quite difficult because, well, like, you could say things like hue and shade, but those are all actually kind of subsets of what color is, so it doesn't really count. And here Carmen has made a beautiful set of a scarf and beanie to go together. They look super beautiful. They're soft, so if you are someone who is sensitive to wool yarns, Carnival is a yarn that you can 100% use, no problem. That will be very gentle on your skin and has these very vibrant, shiny colors. I will take a beautiful, beautiful. Was I once not mocked, but was it pointed out to me that I said the word beautiful kind of like almost like.
I think it was a different word actually, but there was one word.
I think it was in German. I think I was told in German that I was using the word beautiful a lot, which
is what word?
Schön.
Schön.
Which,
okay.
Fair enough,
okay.
Honestly, but sometimes when a yarn is beautiful, you are going to just have to use that word. I just quickly want to show you one more time. Since we were talking about earlier about having a sleek surface, a smooth surface, Carnival is another one of those yarns that has that shiny surface. It has a bit more fluff than the Minium had that I showed you earlier, but it still has that sheen, kind of almost glazed look as well. And all the colors are very, very deep and very vibrant because of it as well. So this is Carnival. It is 40% off with our code HAPPY40 if you want to check it out. And Laurie says, this yarn slides like melted butter across your hook.
Wow.
And now I am hungry. Thank you for that. Fabulous, someone says. Like, it was something positive. It was definitely something that maybe I said amazing too much. Oh yes, my dad called me out for saying amazing too much.
Amazing.
And it was because when I was interviewing Projectarian, and I was so proud because it's my first time ever interviewing someone, and I sent the link to my parents, and my dad said, "Oh yeah, it was really fun, really well done, but you said amazing in every other sentence." And I was like, "Well, it's because her designs are amazing. What do you want me to do? Lie?" True, but yeah. With that, we're moving on to our next yarn, and this is one for the bulk crafters. This is one for, and for people who like decorative yarns, I think, because Dagmar is saying, yarns are always beautiful. How could you not use the word beautiful? Exactly. That's what I thought, because what you gonna do? What you gonna do? Gonna just not acknowledge that yarn is beautiful? No. This one is, like I said, for the bulk crafters. It's for those of you who like getting a lot of bang for your buck, who work on larger single colored projects or multicolored projects and just want to keep going. And for all of you who love smart storage solutions, the next yarn I have for you is our Cone 500. These are the old cones, so just be aware that what I'm holding now is the old version of the yarn. It now looks like this. We have changed the shape of it. It is still an 8/4 cotton yarn. The colors have remained as close as we could to the old ones, but it is just coming in a new shape now. So don't be alarmed. I know it looks, every time I see the picture, it looks like they took, like the original picture just accidentally got corrupted and just got kind of squished. And there. Tina is saying, I was wondering, does it have to be hobby yarn used to share or makes, or can it be any yarn? So if you are, it depends on where you upload it. Basically, our website has two functions where, well, it has three functions where you can upload your makes. One is you go to the product page of the yarn you used. In that case, we ask that please upload pictures where you used that yarn. Just because the idea is to give you all a chance to actually see what the yarn looks like when used up, and also what it looks like in different lighting conditions. The second option is you've used one of our patterns, and then you can upload the pattern, so the picture of what you made using the pattern, regardless of which yarn you used, whether you used a yarn that you found somewhere, maybe bought somewhere at a yard sale, or just in a different yarn shop. That is completely fine. And the third option is in our community, so just kind of on your own community page, you can also upload pictures of your makes, and there you can actually upload whatever you would like. We just ask that you do not sell any yarn through the community and don't do any don't post any links, don't post anything that could potentially, essentially we need to be able to make sure that there's no spamming or scamming, and therefore links, etc. not, but if you just want to post pictures of your makes, you are more than welcome to do that. So those are the three options that we have for sharing pictures, and the different rules that apply. Yes, so KA is asking about the Happy 40 being applied. So you can apply code Happy 40. What will happen is the bulk discount will be taken away and be replaced with the live discount. So they don't work on top of each other. Happy 40 applies to the base price of the yarn. So you can either choose to buy 8 at 30% off by using the bulk discount, or you can choose to use Happy 40 for 40% off the base price. It just basically the way the checkout works is if you type in codes, any codes, it will try to find you the best possible offer. So if you type 3 different codes, it essentially calibrates which one of them are compatible with each other. Are any of the codes compatible with each other? And if they are, or if they're not, what is the best possible deal? So it'll always try to give you the best deal, which means that if you are buying 8 skeins, the bulk discount would be 30% off. Our offer is the live shopping discount is 40% off. So it will give you 40 instead of 30 if you use the code. So yes, you can use Happy 40 in Ireland or any other EU countries that use the euro, or any other European countries that use the euro. Yes, so on a cone, you get 1,859 yards of yarn, and that's what I meant when I said it's great for the bulk crafter, because if you need a lot of yarn, if you just want to keep going, this one's for you. It is a 4-ply cotton yarn, so it's another fingering or sock weight with a recommended hook or needle size of 3 to 4 millimeters. I think we steered quite close to that for most of the stream today. We've kind of stayed within that realm. You can machine wash this at 40 degrees, so medium temperature for best results, but as it is a 100% cotton yarn, you can actually wash it at higher temperatures as well. Just be aware that the colors are going to fade a little bit faster if you wash it at high temperatures a lot of the time. This yarn is truly super versatile. You can do literally anything with it, whether you want to just put it on your shelf because it looks cool, whether you want to, let's see if I can balance. I can. Skills. Whether you want to work on a ton of amigurumi, just one after the other, whether you're making things like a temperature blanket or other temperature inspired project, it'll keep you going for quite a long while. It's easy to store because you can just stack them up or put them on your shelf like this. I think they make cool decorations as well, personally. They make great instruments, and it's just a gorgeous cotton yarn. And Nicole is saying, I would love to see some long yardage like the cones, but with a gradient. That is actually a really cool idea. I'm going to pass that along to our product department because, yeah, I agree. Because, like I said, big fan of projects where gradients are used over like the course of a longer project. Matt has pulled up the user gallery to get some inspiration on what you can make. And Yurgita made this super cool kitchen curtain, which I think just looks super fun with a little hot coffee, hot cocoa, little mocha pot action. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous result, and a real showstopper. And again, probably made with like a cone or two, so very minimum ends to weave in.
What is that?
That looks like a large dragon. Emmet the Tyrannosaurus Rex, made by Rebecca. It is 44.5 inches long or 113 centimeters. Rebecca, hats off to you. That is amazing. That is so cool.
I want it.
I too want it.
Yeah, yeah.
We're gonna have to fight over it, Matt.
Okay.
So.
but do be aware that I have actually been training up for my fight.
Oh, Matt, don't.
So I'm pretty ready.
Oh, Matt again with his desire to fight.
Well, I'm being very vague.
Him who shall not be named.
I'm being very vague, but I'm ready.
Mary's saying, sorry, I missed the weight for this yarn. So this is a fingering or sock weight yarn, or if you're asking about the actual weight of the cone, so this is 1,859 yards on a 17.6 ounce cone. And yeah, like I said, the current cones, the old cones look like this. The new cones are a little bit wider, a little bit wider, but a little bit shorter. So they just kind of look like we just kind of squished them a little bit. This is, see, you've just got to use the word amazing. Sometimes you just gotta. This is our Cone 500, which is, I think, the final yarn of the night that you can get at our discount. We do have one more yarn that we don't have in the studio, which is Coriandoli. It is also linked on our landing page. And I will make sure to include it in a future live shopping so I can show it to you in person. But the discount of 40% still applies to Coriandoli today as well. And you can find all of the yarns linked on our landing page if you type happy40 in the chat. For those of you joining us from an EU country where you've already migrated to the new setup for the page, we don't have the landing page. However, you can just follow the link to the com page so you can see everything there. And then you just have to open a second tab or second window where you can actually add everything into your cart from there. And like I said, happy40 will apply to the base price of the product. So if it's a better offer than the bulk discount or a better offer than any other code you might be using, then it'll apply happy40 for you. The code is valid until tomorrow, 5 p.m. CET. And we do have one final giveaway.
Shall we
we're
roll
going
it?
to start that now. In order to participate on our giveaway, please just type the word giveaway into the chat for a chance to win a final gift card worth $25 or equivalent in your currency. So please just type giveaway, not give away in the chat for a chance to win.
But we do need to give a weight for the counter to go down.
What?
We do need to give a weight for the counter to go down.
Yes, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. Wait, spelled W-A-I-T. It's the end of the night, everyone. It's the end of the workday for me.
we might have gone under the Lars Ulrich scale right now.
Yes.
Actually,
yes.
we are rushing or
Yes.
dragging right now.
Were you rushing or were you dragging?
We're doing many
We're doing many references.
here.
And Matt, have you watched The Princess Bride?
I watched clips from it.
You still haven't watched the film.
Uh,
You've watched Whiplash,
But
obviously.
I've actually seen, it's a great movie. But I've actually seen, like, I saw clips coming up on my YouTube randomly, and then I saw it was the Princess Bride clips, and I was like, wait, what? And then I saw the sword fights, and I was like, I've seen that before.
Yeah,
I didn't know that was the movie you were talking
it's
about.
like, why are you smiling? I have a secret. I am not left-handed.
I like the dialogue is pretty fun. And
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it's cool.
Like, you will enjoy that film so much. I am so sure of it. Like,
I think it's good. Yeah,
you enjoy like the
it's
Hitchhiker's
good.
Guide series and like that sense of humor, that kind of.
I have not read any of it. Like, do you think I'm just like this red person? I have not read it. I'm just saying it. I'm
There's
posing.
also a movie.
I'm posing, Louisa.
There's also a movie.
I have not seen the movie. Is it good?
It's quite fun. It's
Okay.
Alan Rickman is the voice of Marvin, who's the depressed
Oh, it's
android.
animated.
No, it's just there is a depressed android.
Oh, right. Okay.
It's like brain the size of a planet, and they send me to pick up the hitchhikers.
Oi!
We've got a winner! Congratulations to Sarah Elizabeth, our final winner of the night. Sarah Elizabeth, you will receive a gift card worth $25 or equivalent in your currency. And you will receive your code if you email Matthias at live@hobie.com. So Sarah Elizabeth, congrats. Someone's asking, what is a temperature blanket? So I'll very quickly touch on this before I log off for the night. A temperature blanket follows a pretty basic formula, which is that you set it up as a usually 1-year project, but you can set it up for any duration of time. And the idea is that every day you add to the blanket depending on the temperature of that day. So there's people who do it by line, so just 1 row per day per temperature. Or people do it in granny squares. People do it in just half a row, full rows, 3 rows. So you figure out what kind of pattern you want to make, and 1 increment of the pattern will be made every day or every week based on and then you can choose highest temperature of that day, average temperature, lowest temperature. You essentially in the beginning assign a color chart and say, if it's sunny, I will use yellow yarn. If it's rainy, I will use blue. If it's windy, I will use green. If it's certain temperatures. And then people make them with different things. Like there's also mood blankets where people like use them essentially as a way to track a period of time and then have a finished product at the end that reflects that period of time. Be it by what temperature was every day, be it by how was I feeling, be it by, there's really cool ones where people do granny squares based on the colors of books they've read. So at the end of the year, they'll have a blanket that is made up of all the squares of the books they've read that year. So a really, really cool project for someone who wants to stick with something for a long time. Definitely not someone like me who hops from project to project. I don't think I yet have the crafting stamina to take on a challenge like that. So with that, that was the final bit of information I have for you tonight. Everything I've talked about today, all the yarns, the blocking mats, the brand new fancy blocking mats, all of the patterns that I've shown you, and many more are linked on this landing page. So if you've just typed happy40 in the chat at some point, you will have gotten the link to it, and then you can check out everything there. You've got 24 hours to use our code happy40 for 40% off. And with that, I thank you so much for watching today. We'll see you next week for our massive end of May live shopping that will feature both Jaya and myself. And until then, have a great rest of your week and take care. Bye!